Well, hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Monday's Bob and Barry live preview show. Now, today is Tuesday Eve, with tomorrow being 2/22/2022. So we're kind of excited about that. That's something that don't happen very often. Say hello to my co-host, Mr. Barry Cummins.
Hey, Bob, glad to be with you. I wished I could say a sunny North Alabama, but it's raining here today, but glad to be with you all. Glad to see everybody's on the broadcast today.
Well, you got the sour weather there. We have got the hot weather here in North Texas. Partly cloudy at this moment. Been pretty sunny all morning long, but we're approaching 80 degrees today. Crazy. It's up and down roller coaster for us, as it is with many, with these fronts coming through this year. Weather patterns have just been different, and there's a chance of freezing precipitation just north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, all the way up through the Panhandle in Oklahoma and so forth for the middle of the week coming up here. So we will probably just get a cold rain. There could be a little mix, but you never know. I mean, all it's got to do is slip a few miles south, and we're in the ice zone. So, hello, Bob and Melissa. How are we today?
Yes, glad to see everybody on the broadcast. Melissa and Bob and Beth, glad to see y'all. Hope your weather's nice down in Louisiana.
Spangle going down the highway with the mobile store behind him at this very moment. Yes, Melissa says, same with Arkansas, be safe. Exactly. Barry has a weather alert radio, as well as we do too. Something that's important in the South to have, not only across the country, but really in the South, because of the potential of those pop-up storms that can have rotation in them and are heavy, large hail and torrential flash flooding and downpours. So if you don't have a weather radio, folks, go out and get you one, because they are really handy. All right, Barry, you want to talk about tomorrow night's guest and tomorrow night's show?
Yeah, tomorrow night's going to be a great show on the Tuesday night live show. We will have Santa Lee Penberthy with us. Santa is tiny in stature, but he has a heart of a giant. Super nice kid, young, new Santa, and you'll enjoy the interview with him, because he does have the heart of Santa for sure.
And Barry says he's very articulate, so the only thing is he's really shy, and he hasn't completely broken out of that shell. So we're hoping by bringing him on the show in a closed setting, the way it is, that we can help him. So we're going to encourage everyone tomorrow night to please give him positive input, positive encouragement if you can. He's got the heart, like Barry says, of a giant, and he chose to be a Santa instead of an elf. Now, he did perform as an elf prior to becoming Santa, but his heart's in being Santa. So it'll be a fantastic show, I think, Barry.
Absolutely. And he's very knowledgeable of Santa and the history and the background. So it ought to be a great interview.
Mm-hmm. And we're ready, and great trivia questions. That brings us to the next thing. We will do our trivia question here for santascloset.org in just a moment. But we want to mention that there's been a little bit of a lag with some of the comments coming into our StreamYard feed that me and Barry and Elf Angela see. So two reasons to help the show flow better, because sometimes if it takes a while for those to answer a trivia question, Barry and I are kind of sitting here like deer in the headlights, trying to fill airtime, trying to keep the show going. So what we're going to do, long story short, is we're going to announce all trivia winners, including today, at the end of the show. That way, it will give Elf Angela time to cipher through all the comments, make sure cyberspace is not holding any back for a minute or 2 or 3 minutes. We want to make sure that this is fair for everyone, and the true winner wins. So starting as of today, we will be doing that. So I guess at this point, let's go ahead and roll our lead in for Tom. All right, Barry, go ahead.
All right. Pop that question up there if you would there for me, Angie. All right. How many lights were on the Griswold's house in Christmas Vacation? How many lights were on the Griswold's house in Christmas Vacation?
Looking for the answer right now. Go ahead and type your answer in. First answer wins. We're going to go back and decipher through the comments towards the end of the show, and we'll announce the winner at that time.
Funny little story about Christmas lights when I was flying for Northwest Airlines over in Mississippi coming into Memphis. As we was descending into one of the sectors into the airport, there used to be a mobile home that I called it the Griswolds because the whole home was wrapped lengthwise and on top and everything. And man, you could see that thing up from about 20,000 feet. If you was going over really high, you could look down and see that. So it was pretty wild.
Hey, good landmark. That way you can, kind of stay on course without having to look at your instruments.
Oh, yeah.
Spot it in the horizon and fly towards it. Bob and Beth says there are 32 Christmas trees will appreciate the rain. For those who don't know Bob and Beth, which I don't know very many people who don't, but Bob and Beth Collins lives in Halton, Louisiana. That is a suburb on the north side of Shreveport, Louisiana. And they're in a real nice community over there. And when they started portraying Santa, Mrs. Claus, they went out and purchased a bunch of Christmas trees and have their backyard lined in them. And it's really cool. They're growing. It's going to be super special when they finally grow to maturity. Hey, Melissa Button, how are you today, dear? I hope you're feeling better.
I'm not seeing any of the comments coming up or people who's on there. Is there any guesses on the trivia question?
We have one guess and a winner.
Got one guess, so we'll wait and make sure that we that is truly the winner before we announce it. But we do have one that has answered it correct at this point.
All right.
Again, all of our comments that come into us into StreamYard through Facebook is time stamped. Now it only gives the minute and the second, so it's down to the second. And is that correct? Yeah, that's correct. Down to the second. So that's how we figure out who actually has the correct answer first. Again, there was some comments coming in a little bit later than others, and there was one instance already where we thought that someone's comment came in after we had made the announcement, and the timestamp was exactly the same. So it was kind of hard to pull. Just so happens the same person won the second trivia question that night, so they were both happy. Each one got a gift.
All right. And the question was, how many lights was on the Griswold's house?
That's correct. And
so proud of.
Just because we got a correct answer doesn't mean you can't still type in your answer and play along. Okay, so you want to talk about future Tuesday Night Live shows coming up, Barry?
Yeah. On March the 1st, we have Bruce Templeton coming up. After that, we have Michael Ho. March 15th, we have Santa Larry Jefferson. Larry's a super nice guy, Santa Claus Hall of Famer. March 22nd, we got Jeff McMullen. And close out March on the 29th, we have Miss Sherry Heath. She's a Mrs. Claus on her So Santa, and is also working in the background of the Santa convention up there, the gathering in Gatlinburg, Tennessee for 2023 in April.
Yeah, I believe it. Charlie and Cindy Lou Thomas started the Gatlinburg gathering. When Cindy Lou passed away, Charlie let Randy and Deborah Ann step in and start organizing that. And once Deborah Ann passed away, Sherry was there in place, and it was turned over to her. She is now the one that's mainly in charge of putting that thing together. Now, we mentioned that we've got Bruce Templeton coming on the show. He is an hour and a half ahead of us. He says it's 5:40 there already. So good afternoon to you, Bruce. Hope everything's good up there in the northeast side of Canada.
Bob, I got a question for you. How are you seeing who's on there? I can't see.
Me?
Yeah.
In your comments on the right-hand side?
Well, I see them on the full screen here.
At the top of your StreamYard page there, it says private chat and comments.
Okay, there we go. Hey.
Comments.
Barry got school today.
Yep. Well, I think you've been watching, or maybe you've been watching on your other screen. But
I've been watching it in the big mode, and I've had it covered up. That's why.
That's exactly.
Cool. Sorry, folks.
Very good. What else we want to talk about, Barry?
Just, maybe share a little bit about your upcoming class you're going to have out there in Garland, Texas.
Yeah. That'd be good. Of course, it's not just the Garland, Texas class. It's also the Ohio class. Gordon Bailey will be traveling up to Ohio to put on a class the same weekend, the same 2 days, March 26th and 27th of this year, of course. And Gordon has gotten quite a few of the Michigan maps. People are traveling down from Michigan into Ohio to take the class. There are some Ohioans that have signed up for the class also, but it's kind of been a fun rivalry up there between the Michigans and the Ohioans. And so that class is taking place. Me and Chrissy Kovic at CostumeMagic.com, she's one of our full instructors, will be doing 50-50 duties on the Garland, Texas class. Our class is at the Holiday Inn Express, Bass Pro Shops. It's right across the parking lot from the big Bass Pro setting on Lake Ray Hubbard and Interstate 30. Super location, easy to get to, beautiful backdrop. And we've had a class in the North Texas area since Gordon started 9 years ago. This year will be our 9th straight season to have a class. Always a very good class. We're going to have Barry come in via Zoom and do his reindeer flight school presentation. And we're working on, at this point, we haven't completely got it figured out yet, but we're working on how we're going to simulcast Barry to the Ohio class so that he's teaching both classes at the same time. And then we have Randy Wagner, Randall Checker Lee, Santa Checker Lee, as most of you know him from his Facebook, will be doing a presentation for the Ohio class, and we're going to do the same thing with him. We're going to Zoom him into the Garland class, and he'll let him do his presentation simulcast to both groups. So it'll be a first, 2 classes in 2 different states at the same time, and then the double simulcast will be a first for our school also. And I don't know, maybe someone's done it out there before, and I haven't just heard about it. But I think it's pretty cool. It's something that we're always expanding and looking to make the school better, as well as the Bob and Barry Show and the Tuesday Night Live Show. These things are our passion. We wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have a passion for it. And so pretty cool. And again, Barry's working behind the scenes, still trying to secure the proper location for a Tennessee class. He spent the weekend looking at hotels in Chattanooga, and we found a couple that suits our needs, but we don't know if it suits our price range. So still working on that. Barry's got some other ideas that he's working on. So hopefully soon we'll be able to look at putting together that class for the Nashville Middle Tennessee Santa Group is the one that has asked us. We've been talking to them since last year when we did the advanced class in Oklahoma City. They contacted us the weekend after that, said, hey, we want you to bring that format, that class, the advanced class to us. Now, the Nashville group's been good to us, Barry. We had Gordon Bailey go out there either the first or second year that he started the school and did a small class. We went back, Gordon and I, in 2018. Barry, you was part of that class as a student that year, and had a nice class that year. And then we went back again, of course, in 2020, and had a large class. I think we ended up with 29 plus instructors and had half a dozen guest speakers, some in person, some Zoom. Derek Dugan was in person, did a fantastic presentation on intellectual property and copyright, which is in a chapter in our textbooks, and Derek just took it, to the top. Absolutely.
And when you get take the Sat Bob's classes, not only you get all the in-class stuff, you get four textbooks with about 1,053 pages of knowledge that you get to bring home that has all that with you, so you don't have to go to the computer or search out anything. You can just open up if you want to. Hey, I want to learn about Santa and taxes, how you do that since tax season's coming up. Well, there's, chapters on that in there. So, it's a quick reference guide.
Yes, there is. And, I assume, because we know Gordon so well, that everyone knows who Gordon is. Gordon is a performing Santa 40 years, professional clown. He's done magic. He's a balloon artist. He does all kinds of cool stuff. And these books, these 4 books, is works that it's a lifelong works for him. He started blogging back years and years ago, compiling information. When we started the Santa and the Business of Being Santa Home group, the private group, he started adding those files in there and compiling them, and then went back and wrote the books from all of his blogging and experiences that he's had through the years.
Yeah, a lot of knowledge here. And many don't know that, Gordon kind of helped Santa Tim Conahan get his book stuff together when he published his, Santa School book.
That's correct. And was actually Tim's first guest speaker at the first class that Tim had, and has guest spoke at several of Tim's events. Him and Tim are really good friends and have been for a long time. And it's good to see Tim back out again this year, by the way. For those of you who haven't had a chance to see him, he was out in California a few weeks back with the Forbes group, and he is planning on getting out more this summer, and that's good to see.
Absolutely. Super dude.
Go ahead and talk for a moment, Barry. I'm looking for something in my files here, and while I'm looking, I'm going to let you chat.
All right. For those of you that's joined us late, tomorrow night's guest is going to be Santa Lee Penberthy. He's little in stature, but he has a heart of a giant. He's a fairly new Santa. He's young. I think he's maybe 20 or 21 years old, and just has a passion for all things Christmas and Santa. So it's going to be a great interview, and interested to take his a new Santa's perspective on the industry and some of the things he's looking for as being a new Santa and how he grows in his portrayal over the years on that. So if you have any questions for Lee, just type them in or be with us. There'll be a point in the show tomorrow night where we'll ask you for your input and questions. Just type those in the comment boxes, and Elf Angel will put them up. And hopefully he'll answer them and everything. So just, again, a super, super guy.
Yeah, and hopefully everyone will have an encouraging word for him at that moment too. Okay, so real quick, what I was looking for, I found, and I'm just going to run down through the main topics that we will be teaching at both classes, Ohio and Garland: pricing your services, negotiating contracts, business and the Santa experience, experience matters, ethics, how they apply to Santa, how Santa can earn income all year, the evolution of Santa, a timeline, and the old world traditions to the new, what separates a hobbyist from a pro, taxes and you, the Santa deductions, the myth of non-refundable deposits, copyrights, intellectual property and trademark, pay-to-play contracts, Mrs. Claus and the business of, costuming, materials and furs, and since Chrissy is going to take on more of the class this time around, she's going to go into depth with the Mrs. Claus portion and the costuming portion. She's been a seamstress for 3 decades on Harlequin costumes out in California before moving to Texas a couple of 3 years back, and very qualified, very knowledgeable on materials. And I've had her make me several things. Barry's had her make him stuff. She's altered one of my parade coats for me after I had lost some weight so that it didn't hang off my shoulders as bad. Fantastic. She's the one that kind of came up with and I think she's credited for the removable fur on the suits. So you can take it to the dry cleaners and not bleed the red into the white of the fur. So those are just some of the highlights. We're also going to be doing some interactive workshops. Spangle the Clown will be teaching 3 different balloon arts for Santas and Mrs. Clauses. Just quick, easy stuff that you can do if you go to a party, birthday parties or private parties, home visits. And hey, there's some guys that's even doing it in the mall early in the season before it really gets busy and they have time to kill. And, got folks walking around and trying to draw people in, come on in and get a picture. We'll do a balloon and, a balloon hat or something and put it on a child and talk with them for a few moments. Good way to break the ice. We're also going to do an interactive workshop on chair poses. I will have my Santa chair with me, and also different methods of holding children Of course, hand placement, and we'll also be doing interactive child to Santa, Santa to child banner. So those are all things in our classes that we're working on.
Plus sleigh and reindeer flight from a pilot's perspective, because everybody's been asked by Child Santa, how does your sleigh and reindeer fly? Well, if you can tell them by science, because every one of them has one of these right here and a thing called Google. And, if you can give them an answer close to how an actual aircraft or helicopter flies, it'll blow their minds. It just might be the difference by helping them believe that Christmas season, of their older children.
And Barry brings up a good point with the cell phone or computers, tablets. Children are so knowledgeable nowadays because they are of the computer age. You see children as small as 2 years old with a phone in their hand and a stroller, pushing away at the buttons or watching, videos and stuff while mom's going through the stores and things. So they grow up, they're a lot smarter, and information is readily available for them. So that brings me to the next point about the Ohio and the Garland classes is storytelling. As far as Twas the Night Before Christmas or any type of books, Gordon has a series of chapters in our third book that are originals to him that he wrote, that he tells at some of his home visits. They're there for everyone to use as long as you give him credit for the writings. And then not only storytelling in that aspect, but backstorytelling. And that's something we're going to emphasize in both these classes too, is backstories. We've even had people come up, new guys that come up and says, I keep hearing this word backstories. What is backstories? They don't understand that it's the knowledge of Santa, North Pole, the sleigh, the reindeer, Mrs. Claus, the elves, but building stories, your own stories. Stephen Gillum always says, build your own backstory. Well, that's so true. Build your own backstory. As long as it rolls off your tongue, you're well rehearsed, and you continue to tell the same stories, the children will just eat it up. And again, they can pick up that phone a lot of times and Google and find some of the same information if you build a good backstory.
That's right. And if you're working with a Mrs. Claus too, make sure you're both on the same page on that backstory, because a lot of times they may ask, how did you meet Santa, or Santa, how did you meet Mrs. Claus and everything? You for sure wouldn't want her telling them one thing, then you telling them something different. So if you're working with a Mrs. Claus, make sure you're both on the same page on that.
That is such an important point that you made there, Barry. I worked with a Mrs. Claus one time briefly, and we was inside of a limousine being transported to the front of the mall, and we had a dance troupe of small children in the car with us, and one of the younger boys that was sitting next to me in the back seat, and Mrs. Claus was in the middle seat with a bunch of children around us, and he was asking her questions, and she wasn't real sure. She wasn't a trained Mrs. Claus. It's just someone they had talked into doing this opening day parade type of deal with me. And so I kind of had to answer those questions for him so I wouldn't put her in a bad spot. But it helps. Hi, AJ. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, well, I'm thinking about it. I want to thank everybody for your calls and texts and prayers this over the weekend of the loss of my uncle and everything. He was a decorated Korean War veteran and 91 years old. Me and the family, we appreciate all your prayers. Thank you so much for keeping us in your thoughts and prayers.
Yes, we know you had the memorial service for him, and it's a tough time when you have to go through those, but it's something, especially for a decorated war veteran, that you want to be sure and give great honors towards the person and their sacrifice to the country.
Yeah, a military funeral, when they do that, man, it's powerful. It gets you right here.
It is. If they, play taps, which happens a lot, and I've seen anywhere from bagpipes to trumpets. Different instruments played. I've even been to some that did the 21 gun salute, and then the folding and presentation of the flag that's draped over the casket.
That's pretty powerful.
That right there is as powerful as it comes, man. It really is an eye opener and makes you really thankful for those men and women who step out there and do that job so selfishly for the rest of us.
Yeah, you're a veteran. Thank you for your service.
Yes, there will be balloon twisting in Garland. Three different balloons. Spangle the Clown will be doing simple balloon art for Santas and Mrs. Clauses for your persona. As I mentioned earlier, it's something that it's not for everyone. Barry will tell you that he wasn't. Well, he did win the award for popping the most balloons while trying to.
Yeah.
So,
not my talent.
Yeah, I got a trophy to prove it.
Hey, well, I'm thinking about it. Let's do this. Spangle has his trivia question, and last week on the Tuesday Night Live show, he brought up the fact that the next 6 weeks, if you like and share the Tuesday Night Live program, your name, you have to like it and you have to share it to your Facebook page. Those that does that will be put into a drawing that will win a $359 valued scholarship to his Santa school there in Branson, Missouri, the School of Santa.
Santa.
And be held in July.
There was a third part to that, Barry. They have to comment. Now here,
that's right.
After doing some research this week, here's how you have to comment. You have to comment that you have done, shared it and liked it, because the problem is, again, this falls back into Facebook with privacy issues. A lot of folks does not post public. So if you share something, it has a privacy setting, and if it's not on public, it won't tell us where you shared it to or if you shared it. It only shows who has a public privacy setting. So last week, right off the bat, we had 6 within minutes share it when Spangle told that outline of how to get into the drawing, but only 4 showed up with who had shared it. 4 names showed up, so 2 people was anonymous. We don't know who that was. It's not fair to them to not be able to be in the drawing just because their privacy setting was different than it should be. Not going to ask everyone to change their settings to public. That would be the easiest solution. But if you must send it out to friends or even just to yourself, which won't work, but if you send it out to friends, comment saying that, hey, I shared it and liked it publicly or to friends, and let us know. That way we can put your name in that drawing.
And Melissa, to answer your question, it is for the Tuesday Night Live show that Spangle sponsors. It's tomorrow night's show that needs to be shared, and it'll start with tomorrow night's broadcast. So last week was just a test. So tomorrow night, like, share, and comment with your name on there that you shared. Your name will go into a drawing that he and Daisy May will draw out for a $359 valued scholarship to the School of Santa. So that's pretty cool that he does that for us. Something that take you 30 seconds may win you $359 Santa school. That's going to be.
That comes with meals and 2 show tickets.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The tuition covers all that. So basically what you would be out for, if you was to win that, getting yourself there and a place to stay, sleep in your backseat of your car or get you a hotel room. I know the hotel rooms have gone up across the country, as we've seen, as Barry's been trying to put together this Tennessee class. It's amazing that most hotel rooms, sleeping rooms and the conference rooms have gone up around 45 to 50% just in the last year and a half. So we're running into that. And again, still, come up there for a weekend. You're going to have 2 or 3 nights involved with gas. If you bring your vehicle and all, you may be out $300 or $400. But again, you're looking at over $1,000 worth of goodies there, plus the knowledge that you'll pick up,
and plus the contacts. Just like I say, first Santa school I attended was Sat Bob's. I met so many contacts there. A lot of them helped me get jobs because they didn't live in the area and say, hey, we saw this in your area, check on it. And, I got several jobs that I'm still their Santa for, because of that. I attended one and met people and I talked to them one-on-one.
Yeah, and become an instructor for Sat Bob's due to those contacts.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you can think of at this point? We're about 32 and a half minutes into the program. We like to wrap it up around this time if we can. Any comments, any questions, anything? That's correct. We want to say congratulations to Scott Parker. 25,000 was the correct answer. And Scott just got put back into the drawing because he had been on a hiatus due to the fact that he had already won. As a matter of fact, speaking of, he won the first scholarship that Spangle gave away this year on the Tuesday Night Live show. So we'll see him in Branson for the summer.
Good deal, Scott. And get that address to Bob, and we'll get it to Tom Cordemelia at santascloset.org, and he'll get your Santa key to you.
That's correct. Now you got to go back into a 30-day hold on the Monday show, Scott. So sorry, buddy. That's all right.
Call it the Scott Parker Invitational.
What was we saying about Scott last year?
Yeah, the Scott Parker Invitational on the trivia question.
It really was. It was crazy.
Well, hey, hope to see everybody tomorrow night. Be with us. Santa Lee's going to be with us, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. All right, so we're going to wrap it up at this point. We want to thank everyone for dropping in this afternoon with us. Remember, tomorrow is Tuesday. So that doesn't happen very often. It's pretty cool. So we're going to make a big deal out of that. And we've got some really cool stuff tomorrow night. Again, we want to thank santascloset.org, santascloset.org, Tom Court, for all the good things that he's doing and for participating as our only sponsor for the Monday Bob and Barry show. All right, Barry, take us out of here.
All right. Hope to see you back tomorrow night. Join us at 7 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at Sat Bob's Live or Santa in the Business of Being Santa. And hope to see you tomorrow night. God bless you. Have a great day. And remember, we do this. Be claws with care.
That's correct. And you keyboard warriors, be ready for the trivia questions tomorrow night. We got a couple of good ones. And, of course, thank everyone for watching today. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Thank you so much, and God bless.